both exactly tied as far as the matches, 15 of 27.
And Chris struggled on the break on this table. Recovered nicely on the outer tables, obviously, with some wins, but really struggled early the first match here on the break. I think it was, I know 2 dry breaks, maybe 3. So I kind of feel like I give the breaking edge, just not just because this first one was awesome, but just overall, I feel like Januarta can get into the balls a little more than Chris can. Now, does he go all the way up? Does he just come one row over? You can take some distance on the pink.
Yeah, probably just above the 7.
This to me is where I can see a good sign. Shots like this, he doesn't cinch and come back an inch. Usually he just goes ahead and is very confident to move the ball and pocket the ball as well.
Yeah, Jeremy, you don't get much closer than this, though, right? You're looking at Januarta with 99 racks lost, but Melling actually leading in that department, only 92, but then racks won. Januarta 106, Melling 104. So it's,
Yeah, look at that last column, that differential. That's
12 and 7.
Yeah, that's
Melling 12. And that's,
So, but what's their records overall, wins and losses?
they're tied 15 out of 27.
Both with 2 to play, I believe.
Correct. Doesn't get really any closer.
And where's Robbie at ahead of them? Just 1 match, I believe, yeah?
Correct, 16 of 27.
16 to 27, so he still has 2 to play as well. Now, what's his rack differential? Because he took 2 5-0 losses earlier. So the last column there for Robbie.
Yeah, it would be, he's at 8.
Yeah, so if it came down to racks, he's a little behind Chris at the moment. But whoever wins this match is going to tie him, but they only have 1 left, Robbie. And then it would be the 2 and 3 seed in the other semifinal, which I think would be possibly DeWong or FSR. We'll see. This is what I was talking about. Did get the odd ball there, but you could see it was pretty dry. Mostly the one missed again. Doesn't mind the thin one, Chris Melling. This overhead will tell us how reasonably shootable this one is. It's definitely shootable.
Yeah, with the 2 where it's at, it's just bury the 1.
Hair up inside he needs, really does, unless he's going to cannon up the second rail into the 3 maybe.
Thick. I mean, never really there, the thick hit, though, why the cue ball finished behind the 3. Because I think he was going your route, Jeremy. 2 rails into the back of the 3 if he catches it right.
Yeah.
Never really had the right speed on it, though. Yeah, all depends on, I was going to say, all depends on if he can clear the 9 and where he gets on the 4 as to what he's going to do with the 5, because it was playable to the upper left. That's not going to happen now. I think he can get to this quite well, being a left-hander.
Yeah, and he sees that edge real well. Now, he's got to check his speed, how he wants to play the speed.
I think you trickle it in up and down.
Yeah, hit it beautifully. Center of the pocket. And you know, when first time I looked at Filler, 2016 U.S. Open, I believe it was, and I watched him beat Shane. Now, Shane came back through the loser side and won the tournament last time he won it. But, you know, the first time I'd ever seen Filler, and I didn't even, hear about no, this is the guy to beat or anything. Just several Euros came up to me and said, hey, this is the next future superstar. We've seen him on the Euro Tour and whatnot. So I could tell just watching him after that some Euros and whatnot really felt the heat playing him. Even though he was a young player, they just knew how great he was already. And I don't know if the players really feel that about Januarta yet, but I think he's going to make them feel that here in the next year or two.
Yeah, no question.
I really feel that. It's just that pure, I think.
Just no question. You just don't see any waver from him. And quickly, 2-0 up over Melling. Melling, a big miss on the 1.
Yeah, it looked like he took a little speed off of what he's been doing the last couple of days on that break.
I was just talking to Kachi about that. He said he's doing the same thing, trying to conserve energy. I don't know if Capito can afford to conserve energy. Watch the 9 here, 1 rail to the side, and it was close.
Yeah, especially with a Januarta win and Capito 1 ahead. I kind of get the feeling, and just watching Chris, kind of hard to sit still in his chair a little bit, kind of get the feeling that maybe if Chris loses here, he's out. He's only got 2 left. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's what you're saying about watching him in his chair. That probably tells us more than anything up there. He's okay now, but really at the mercy of what this young man does at the point.
Yeah, we were commenting on some other matches or other tables when Januarta was playing, and just a few shots, not just knocking the ball in is pure. That's the one I really like to see, and think that it will not be denied moving future in his career, but just so savvy on a few little things that, he recognized that, I watch a lot of pros that are veterans that sometimes don't recognize those things, and just like it all the way around.
And that little play right there was by design. He wanted to be below the pink 4.
Yeah.
Now all is well, and I like just looking right away, anywhere, left center.
Let it open with just a hair of spin.
Yeah, a little light. Should be okay. Oh, he's finished actually perfect. The bed just continues to fool me. It keeps on going.
Yeah, and Scott, you were around back in the day, and compare the, talking about different things for these youngsters to really have a good lead into things at an early age, is the players that they're following and they're trying to beat, and the ones that are leading the pack, I think, lend a little more towards the young guys than the ones did years ago, and not knocking the guys years ago, just trying to win. Yeah, just trying to win. You know what I mean? So it was just a little different, little different chat between players. They're always talking about things, and they're certainly here to help these youngsters.
There's 2 scenarios here just in this rack, Jeremy, where he goes to what you and I really love. He goes to the corner pockets, where a lot of guys might have gone the other route, right? And that just tells you right there about the savviness, about the maturity. He is going to be a force for a long time to come. Rack differential 37 to 18, 37 going to Duong.
Yeah, that's huge, bro.
Yeah.
So it's got to happen with the break shot. For some reason, the 1 has been not his friend so far, at least on the main table. And it's just, I think he's just kind of like, doesn't know at the moment what to do on this table on the break.
We're going to get another look. It feels like it's a bit thick to me, but maybe not. The cue ball finished low. I wonder if it got a kiss. And what do you do here in Double J?
I don't know. I mean, you got to figure it's probably up table somewhere, but still that leaves a lot of opportunities. But if you push out on the bottom, you're not going to push out to the shot on the side. It's going to be somewhere in the middle of the end rail. And what options do you have there? Nothing really, right?
No, nothing. And Chris will flail at the cut, most likely. So up table is the play.
Look firm. Yeah, this could be cut off. Oof. So he's just going to say, Chris, I feel like I can tickle this one and go behind the 4. How do you feel about
better
it?
than you can.
Yeah. I think Chris should take it on, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, you're trailing 3-0. You don't want this young man back in control, but maybe it's tougher than what Jeremy and I see.
This is not easy, but it's definitely there.
Yeah, he just took a little more time looking at it than I thought he would. Yeah,
Chris, I didn't. Yeah, go ahead.
Never give that back if
Yeah.
it's like this.
I was really shocked. And not only that, it's the type of shot that really Chris sets up pretty well for, I thought.
Yeah, it's a little surprising. I don't know how you look at that and see anything different from the rollout.
Yeah, and the thing is, there was no other shot really, so
Right.
that's why to me it was obvious. And I think Chris just said, "Oh, I don't want to shoot this at the moment." But the thing is, that's the hard part about our sport. We don't have that coach or caddy sitting there telling us, "No, you're supposed to take this one." You know what I mean? Let's think about this for a second. You're supposed to take this one.
Yeah, because you can quickly talk yourself out of it.
Yeah, because it is delicate.
Sure.
It's delicate. You trying to go 3 cushions here?
Yeah, notice the attention he pays to these. I see this ball coming short. If anything, he's hitting a low ball.
Yeesh, I think the 7's involved unless he's
Right.
going way wide. Yeah, he can.
Real short. I mean, how do you not recognize how big those balls are? But that being said, he's just struggling maybe a bit. Jeremy, you did touch on it. He's right. You just still have to get some things dialed in over time.
Yeah, and dialed in under pressure and all that, right? All those factors and certain types of shots that, you feel like you're practicing all of them until they come up in the game and you're like, well, I haven't really shot this type very much. So.
Right. And for the most part, he's played very well this week.
Oh, Chris has been
well.
awesome. He's been a big part of this tournament and the success, in my opinion.
Yes.
So, but I think what he's gotten here is a little bit of a body blow with the break shot. Just kind of if you looked at him after the break, he just doesn't. Well, this has got to go a little. It's going to get there.
Absolutely perfect. My goodness. Wow.
And just stun out a little bit. Stun draw. Get away from the 9.
I mean, that tight position there, and he kind of knew it all along that he was good. Pretty impressive. Now he can go one rail. I don't believe the 9's a problem. If so, he might be forced to lay on this left long rail, but I think he can get past the 6 and beat the 9 here.
This is that rolling it with spin. That way you give enough room to go by the 9. And that's a shot you have to have. That way you can hit certain lines. If you're used to getting into the cue ball a little bit to make that direction happen, now you're cutting off certain lines you need at times. And I think it's just a super important part of the game. When I teach rolling the ball with English, you know how many variables there are or how many different ways you can use that? Like Efren Reyes, I think like him and Ralph Souquet, they made their living rolling the ball with a little English. And when I say rolling it, I don't mean like super light all the time, just more of like the rolling kind of stroke.
Yeah, like a above center or center and above rolling kind of stroke.
Right.
You can do that at a medium to just below speed.
4-0.
Yeah, and pretty quickly.
2 spot or not to FSR, but still motivated, wanting to keep that high caliber play going no matter the real meaning of the match, because there's definitely some meaningful ones in store.
He definitely has a chance to lose the 2 spot.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do that. All right. I don't know. It could be a whitewash here. One good shot from the 2 to the 3 really opens the door for this run out. Didn't see anything I was in love with at first glance.
Is he straight enough to be able to draw back where he is now, or does he have to stun over for the corner? Yeah.
But that's another sign to me.
Just
you know
incredible.
What I mean?
Yeah, just incredible.
Shot a similar shot yesterday. It was a little different, obviously, but my point being is he didn't try to guide it or anything. He understood he had to unload the stroke a little bit, even though it was minimal movement. Could have used maybe an inch more here or 2, but once that's bounced off the second cushion. come one rail between the 8 and 9. This is similar to earlier where some would dig, but I really like this right here because it's just hard to make much of a mistake with the speed. Again, we'll get the information. I'll try to speculate too much, but I don't know if Chris has a chance to qualify after this 5-0 loss or what looks like going to be a 5-0 loss. Awesome stuff, this kid, I tell you. Don't mind just keeping on watching him.
Yeah, and I have a feeling we're going to be watching a lot of him as this year continues forward. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back once again very shortly.